Good morning, everyone, both here on Twitch and on the YouTubes later. This is John for MTG Nexus coming at you with some more Jund Midrange. So this version's a little bit different than the one we played last time. I think last time might have gone a little too far in terms of how far it took the thing with Wooly's last version with Clothis and some of the other stuff he had going on with the deck. So this particular version is by Genk Toro. I believe this was the deck that 9-0'd in last weekend's Modern Challenge a couple days ago. This version is a little bit more balanced in what it's trying to do, and we're back to having some hate cards for aggro on the sideboard, etc. So feels like this one's a little more balanced. There's a couple question marks I want to see in this league, like, do I miss the 25th land, which is usually a second Baron Moor or some type of cycling land? How does Scavenging Ooze perform over something like another third Kroxa? And do I miss Clothis? Clothis really didn't get enough testing last time around, but I think the deck was maybe too skewed in that direction, so maybe we'll test Clothis out again next league. This particular one I'm going back to a little bit more of a traditional setting. One notable exception in the main deck, in addition to only the 24 lands, is we are on a 3-3 split of Inquisition, Thoughtseize, 3-3 split of Fatal Push and Bolt, and there is no Maelstrom Pulse in this list. It is instead a third Assassin's Trophy. We'll see if that comes up in terms of where we would miss a spot with Assassin's Trophy. Beyond that, Kolgun's commands are back in the main, as opposed to the slot that was like Clothis and Ashiok, I think, in Willie's list. I'm not saying Willie's list was wrong, I just felt it might have been a little too skewed against certain archetypes and not balanced enough against others. So, here in the sideboard, one Huntmaster of the Fell is pretty good in the mid-range. In aggressive matchups, in addition to that, we have Plague Engineers and a copy of Anger of the Gods. So if we happen to run against an aggro deck, which of course now that we're prepared for it, we won't this time, like we did against Gabos and Bant Spirits last time. 2 copies of Collective Brutality, okay against combo and control, pretty good against the aggressive decks, especially against decks like Burn and Gabos. Ashiok Dream Render, pretty good in a lot of situations. This is going to come in probably quite a lot against, even the Urza decks. It also comes in the Urza decks with the copies of, why am I drawing a blank? Their Search for Artifact spells. Also comes in, obviously, against Big Mana. Pretty good against Amulet, pretty good against any of the Scape Shift decks out there, so as well as can come in a pinch against Tron. It's not great against Tron because a lot of times they can assemble Tron by turn 3, but it is decent in some spots against Tron even. One nice whole spell bomb in addition to your Ashioks against the Graveyard Hate. In addition to the 2 Scavenging Oozes, in the main, you do have some smattering of Graveyard Hate, but against like a true dedicated Graveyard deck like the Hollow One deck or the Dredge, it can be a little bit slow, so it's nice to have like a Nihil spell bomb here to kind of bridge the gap there. 3 copies of Pillage would need to blow up some lands against big mana and sometimes against control, and then the blue package of 2 Chokes and a Boil. So hopefully this is enough, in addition to some of the other stuff, to at least give us game against the Bant Snow lists and such. I hadn't run into Bant Snow all that much, and then last time out when we were playing the 5-color Niv deck from Will Pulliam, we ended up running into a bunch of the Bant Snow 2 games in a row. So, that said, let's hop into a league. So, Friday when we are streaming, we should be streaming Burn. Unfortunately, that's a day I work, so I won't be able to stay for an extremely long time, but that will be a Burn League that day. And then beyond that, not quite sure what we'll be streaming yet on. Is it a Burn League? No. Actually, no. Friday will be a Pioneer League, which there's still a pull up on the YouTube channel if you want to check that out as to what Pioneer deck we'll be focusing on this month. It's either Dimir Inverter, Bant Spirits, and Sultai Delirium. I think last time I checked, Sultai Delirium was winning, but it and Spirits were very close. This hand's pretty reasonable. We don't have an early threat, but we do have Thoughtseize plus Bolts. We do have Entropy, so we have a lot of early interaction. Just really want to rip one of our early. Alright, so card do I care about most here? Noble Hierarch obviously slows them down, but I think we'll just end up bolting that. And then they have a fistful of 2 mana cards. Meddling Mage is annoying, Thalia is annoying, Reflector Mage at some point could be annoying. I think from this hand I'm just supposed to take the Thalia and kind of judge from there. I think they have too many cards they have to try to answer. Awkward. That's kind of awkward that we play the Swamp and then immediately draw right in 6. So definitely want a second black source. I think we just get Blood Crypt here. Bolt the Noble. Yep. Leon of the Veil, sure. So, don't think I want a trophy here. So what are they likely to play this turn? So I could go for the ultimate blowout and hope that they play Phantasmal Image. I could play Wrenn, and if they hit land, Mantis Rider, Wrenn would die. I think I'm just going to pass with Trophy up, see what they do here. Might be incorrect. Maybe I'm supposed to be more assertive with my Planeswalkers. But alright, Thalia's Lieutenant, sure. I'm not going to trophy them until after their turn. I'm just going to take a 3, that way I can Wrenn. I mean, it's possible I'm just supposed to whatchamacallit here, but oh, I'm not supposed to blood braid. The problem with blood braid here is if we don't hit a removal spell and then they just play Reflector Mage, and we just kind of get pounded for no good reason. Yep, you miss. Let's hit a removal spell, shall we? Not too much we could block here with Bloodbraid this turn anyway, so just let them do the thing. Phantasmal Image, that's kind of rough. Funny thing about Ren against humans is it's actually pretty good against them. Kills the image. Do I want to play out Tarmogoyf here knowing it's going to get Reflector Maged? Meddling Mage naming Tarmogoyf. Fetch another red source here. Alright. Pass with trophy up. No, just trophy is just a clean answer to it. What are they holding on to over there? I'm curious. Probably another Reflector Mage. Oh, it's Lieutenant. Interesting. Alright, and let's scoop it up. So what is humans packing these days? Alia's Lieutenant. So not really a ton. Like they have Selfless Spirits, Mirren Crusaders, etc. I think the cards that we're interested in are Plague Engineers, Anger of the Gods, and Huntmaster of the Fells. Get rid of the 3 Thoughtseises maybe. Kroxa might be a little slow against them. Also a little bit awkward in the face of like Reflector Mage and such. I think this was just the all kill spells on hand matchup. Seems a little bit awkward. So humans usually has a pretty reasonable spread of things. Do I keep this hand? That's interesting. The mana's good. We have interaction on 2 and 3, but we are on the draw. This is a hand that I would have to ask people's opinions of at some point. But I'm talking about the Jund Discord. I'm going to keep it. Could be a little bit risky. Certainly just got worse. Doesn't do Jund things. Sure it does Jund things. Of course we draw Fatal Push this turn, right? Well, against control I wouldn't, but against humans it's perfectly reasonable. Or was, anyway. About to name Liliana. No, I wasn't in the dark. This is game number 2. Okay, why is it a mole? Because of the 5 lands? I have 2 pieces of interaction. Even though the hand just keeps getting worse. We had trophy, dude. I had trophy Liliana 5 lands. If they have another image or meddling mage, it's going to get ugly, but apparently they're just on the all lands draw. Ren's not the best here. I've just been dismembered. Yay. Hey, that Niv-Mizzet deck was complicated, man. This is a chem ball? Love to draw an Anger of the Gods or a Plague Engineer. I suppose I should have played Peatland there. I didn't finish it. I had to turn in the deck because it was such a drain on mana hours. I think I ended up overall 2-2. I lost to Bant Snow twice, and then I beat Jund and Hollow Conscription. Bant Snow matchup feels terrible. Like, legitimately, just like feels really, really, really bad. But I honestly think any deck with a pile of counter spells is going to be pretty rough for any type of tap-out mid-range deck like that. Even with all the sideboard cards. Like, we set up... I set up a really cool play. You can go back and check it on YouTube where I, like... They had a... They had Teferi in play... Teferi, the 5-mana Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. And I trophied their... Okay, so we are on the play? Yeah. This hand, I think, is keepable on the play. It is a little bit slow. Doesn't have any 1-mana interaction, but I still think it's fine on the play. I'm going to keep... And I trophy their Teferi. They're tapped out, so they have 2 cards in hand. So they let the Teferi go. I play Land Boil, and then they force a negation pitching Jace. So it was like, I set up the play. They saw the line, that realized that trophying Teferi didn't really matter. And then so it's kind of unfortunate, but you know, sometimes you play well and your opponent just plays better. So, I don't know what to presume off of this opening here. Problem is, no matter what threat I play, it's just like boldable or whatever, so I think I lead on Scoos here. I don't think Scoos is... Are we in a Jund mirror? Feels like we might be playing the mirror match. No, we are not. So maybe... Oh, we're up against Dredge. That's rough. And out of sheer dumb luck, I played... Do you have any dredgers in the yard right now? They have loam. So I think Ox is extremely annoying. So I think I just take out Bloodghast and Ox and let them have loam for a turn. And that minimizes the ways they can return Amalgam for right now. Yeah, that was my thinking. Ox is really good in the decks that it's good in. Like, the Hollow Conscription deck, it's kind of... Okay, I don't care about Creeping Chill in this deck. Like, it's annoying and it can contribute to me losing, but... I wish there was a way to minimize this. There we go. I want to keep track of the graveyard, but at the same time... I just really want to draw lands from here on out. Especially ones of the green variety. I think I just leave a green up and something like that, Space Marine. Sorry, Dreadbore. Morning, Antis, how are you? Feels like you're about to aim a lightning axe at my... Conflagrate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Burning Inquiry. So I think I eat the Amalgam in response. That way they can only get black the Bloodghasts. I commend my opponent on their play. That was well played by them. Problem here is I really don't want to trophy that thing, because then they get all their crap back. That's a pretty good one. From the graveyard there, and that sets up lethal. Cool. Yeah, it's also happens to be a very bad matchup for Jund usually. I could... Is it crazy to bring in Plague Engineer? I don't think so. Shuts off some of their nonsensical creatures. Liliana is actively terrible in the matchup. Discard spells aren't great. Like, on the play, they're far more defensible. On the draw, I think they're far worse. Problem is, our curve went up so much with this sideboarding. Did it? No, because we boarded out 4 3-drops for a bunch of other 3-drops. It looks fine. Well, Dredge is extremely easy to play game 1, but game 2 and game 3 are where Dredge players earn their money. This is a Jund hand, but it's not good enough. We don't have a second land drop. We don't have any graveyard hate. And, yeah. This hand's even worse, almost. Yeah, going to 5. I think we have to keep this hand, but it's actively pretty bad. Crocs back. Put Steinmeier back. I don't know that I've played Dredge since looting's been banned. But the requirements are pretty simple. Sure. I have a feeling we're just pretty much dead this game. Alright, at least they missed on their first dredge. And it's correct to do that at the end of the main phase because in case they hit I'm curious if they just kept it on the back of that Shriekhorn. Feels like they must have a Cathartic or something. Let's grab an Everground Tomb here. Then we can cast this Tarmogoyf without any issues. I mean, Tarmogoyfs are fine in the matchup, but they're not like the be-all end-all. Especially if they have a Lightning Axe here. Would explain... Yep, they have Lightning Axe. Would explain the awkward hand they've had so far. Two Narcomoebas, sure. Or they could have been... may not necessarily be Lightning Axe. It could also have been Haggle. Guess we'll find out. Okay, they got a loam. So... It's just buying time. Because I think they're favored in a longer game. A longer game in which we don't have... They definitely have something here. It's got to be Haggle, right? Because I would have thought they would have Lightning Axed. Nope, they had a Lightning Axe. Okay. Weird. That was dangerous, because if I found like a way to get like a Planeswalker or something in my graveyard and grow Goyf to a 5/6, then your Lightning Axe just like effectively does nothing. We can just keep drawing lands and it really doesn't matter. It's not the best of plays, but get that out of the way and continue clunking them for 5 here. I guess put the Narcomoeba back on top. Well, I think that in the post-board games you have to be more judicious with what you're doing. So I think they just chose to keep a hand that was functional and that probably had like an Abrupt Decay or a Assassin's Trophy or a Nature's Claimant in case we had like a Leyline of the Void or something. Because you got to remember, the hands they got to keep are a lot more specific in the post-board games. Yeah, like it's just going to be hard to punch through all this nonsense. No, they really can't goldfish as much without looting. They're very much a value aggro deck. That guy. They're just going to chump block with Narcomoeba. They hit another blood gas, but not really a whole lot else. Yeah, see, they bring in like ancient grudges and nature's claims and stuff, so. Why didn't I block? No. They just have to fight through Ashiok. And Ashiok is kind of slow. This is an imp. This is a human warrior. That's a vampire spirit. And that is a... So what do I name? Yeah. Problem is it doesn't allow us to punch through and kill them, but it's probably correct. Because we gotta find some way to deal with these stinkweed imps. That's a lot of amalgams. And that's Nox. So now we're dead. So many flippin' triggers. Yeah. Anger is certainly in the probably the out. Flagger, it's a rough one. Yep. That looks exactly like an Anger of the Gods. Let's make sure I don't have any cycling lands in the graveyard. Alright. Concede. Oh! No! Why must you mock me, anger of the gods? Hand's decent but awkward. I think I'm going to lead on Inquisition here. Hopefully their hand isn't like all dredgers. And watch, they'll rip a... Why did Shatter this guy tick you off? Really? You would rip an enabler right off the top, right? I think that's why Jund is so so annoying sometimes. Because they want their 4-mana sweepers to have drawbacks? The problem with Ashiok, you're right, is like I can play it, but then they won't activate. I don't know. I think I'm just supposed to play Goyf here. This feels like a Goyf turn. Is it a Goyf turn or is it a Kolaghan's command turn? Why would I mill them, dude? There's nothing in their graveyard. I'm just going to pass with Kolaghan's command. It's a little unorthodox, but I want to force them to burn all of their graveyard enabling. Like I said, it's a bit of a gamble, but I'm going to... I am taking that risk. It may be completely the wrong line. Because Ashiok wouldn't do much in this spot anyway. Probably need another green source. No, we're good on green. Guess we just get swamp here. Curious what our opponent will pitch here. And we just somehow have to fight through 2 Stinkweed Imps. Oh, they actually pitched Stinkweed Imp. I'm shocked. Ashiok and chill. Something like that. Okay, they cast Amalgam, which is nice. Can use Glyph to stop that nonsense. Good Inquisition, see what's going on in their hand. So... Dark Amoeba trigger, that doesn't matter. So their hand is, they're going to be able to deploy both Amalgam and Thug this turn, I think. Oh no! They have 2 fetch lands in hand. Ah! Nice. Ashiok pulling triple duty here. As long as they don't rip, I was gonna say, as long as they don't rip a whatchamacallit, we should be good. Still get to search for a land, which is annoying. Simply because of the way Ashiok's templated. I think Ashiok isn't good. It's good in what it specifically does. Like, on a power level, it's not all that good. But what it specifically targets, it's excellent at. I think, unlike Narset or Teferi Time Raveler, I think Ashiok is an excellent design for what it does. Agreed. Sided in against Jund. I can see that. It's fine, I'm sure, especially the current versions of Jund with Croxa and such. We're on the play, which is always nice. This mana is fine. Can't cast Bolt, but I still think this hand's fine. It starts with 7. Inquisition you. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So... what's the take here? Bolt. Don't care about Bolt. Parasite's annoying, but whatever. Sculler, also annoying. Ranger Captain's a guaranteed 2 for 1. There's 2 of them, though, is the problem. I think I take Sculler here, because I can't guarantee that I can kill Sculler, so... I think we're going to have a hard time beating this hand, period, if they rip a 3rd land on a timely fashion. And they did. Did they? Yeah. Why would you lead on that land? Oh, I think we take one of the captains. This is Mardu Shadow. So they're a little bit better than your average Mardu deck. So they can kill Liliana here. I think I just wait till they play Ranger Captain, Kolaghan's Command, that and the Ranger Captain. It's the average Mardu deck's pretty miserable to play with, too. Okay, they targeted themselves. Interesting. Pyromancer was fine. I think that was a deck that was already not good and then it lost... Let me guess. Death Shadow? Actually, they may not. Yeah, they got a Death Shadow. Okay. Let's grab a green source here. Alright. Target player. Store target artifact. Deal 2 damage. Oh, that's a 3/3. What was I thinking? discards a card. For some reason I thought that was a 3-2. I don't know what I was thinking. Hand currently is Bolt, Death Shadow, 2 unknowns. Thoughtseize. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. Oh, dear Lord. That was a heck of a rip. Yep, and we're dead next turn, so. Maybe I should have left this in my hand as a bluff. Who knows? Alright, against Mardu's Things and Stuff. Needless to say, our sideboard is not well equipped for Mardu Things and Stuff. A minute since I've looked at a Mardu Death Shadow list. If they have Fulminators, they'll likely be bringing in. They've got some other grindy stuff. Am I interested in Plague Engineer? Probably. It's another removal spell on a body. Probably go down a couple discard spells. Bolt's got utility in this matchup because they have Tide Hollow Scholars and Ranger Captains, so unlike a lot of other Death Shadow matchups where you board out Bolt, Bolt's kind of relevant here. I'm really not sure what else I'm supposed to board out. Like, I'm not saying some of my discard spells aren't fine, but, like, I don't know. I think you were right last game, Space Marine, and I was just supposed to rip the Ranger Captain. And then that second Inquisition would have ripped the other Ranger Captain. I think Inquisition into Croxa is what we're going to do here. No, you're not always right, but on that particular thing, I think I was just supposed to take the value. They ripped, you know, if they whatever they took out of our hand with the Scholar, they took out of our hand with the Scholar. It was kind of whatever. That's a hand. So their hand literally does nothing, but it could do everything. I honestly don't know how we're beating this hand. Like, I either take their Inquisition, or I take their Kolaghan's Command or Unearth. So Inquisition probably takes my Kolaghan's Command. Am I okay with that? I don't think Inquisition's the take here. I think it's either Kolaghan's Command or Unearth. Yeah, and Unearth and Kolaghan's Command are both 2-for-1s too. Or more. Because it's the most mana efficient. And we have time to rip another discard spell for Kolaghan's Command. Right now, no, but it's the most mana efficient later. When you see a hand like that, you can't plan for like the next 2 turns. You have to think longer term. They weren't taking the Goyf. They were going to be taking the Kolaghan's Command. Guess we run Goyf out and hope they don't have a immediate answer. They've just drawn 3 new cards. We don't know what's in their hand. Okay, that would indicate they have another fetch land. Fatal push. Yep. Opponent has K command and 2 unknowns. If they K command us, it's interesting. Do we get rid of Bloodbraid Elf, or do we get? Oh, that's rough. Well, their turn couldn't have gotten much better. Yeah, and unfortunately not particularly good on this board. I would rather have hit a removal spell there. Because in essence, I gotta hit 3 removal spells now. Actually, hitting like a Kolaghan's Command of our own would have been great there. Yes, I know we only have 1 more in the deck right now. They're going to burn their K command now? Interesting. Let's say rebuy Street Wraith and force us to discard a useless card. Cool. I'm honestly surprised they didn't make us kill Bloodbraid Elf here. Guess they decide the upside is better here. Why are they not cracking the fetch? Then go watch Yellow Hat, man. I know how much you love your control decks. I'm trying to win here, so this is actually kind of an important turn sequence. I'm down to 7. So if I hit them to 7 here, they can go to 4. It's still not lethal on board. And then I'll have the trophy for the Giver of Runes. And then we can swing for lethal, barring no removal spells. I think that's a line I'm going to go for. No, if I attack with both, I'm dead. And I'm dead to a Teamer Battle Rage regardless, so I'm not even going to play around that. You have TBR, we're dead. I mean, just kind of life. What do I have for 4 mana? Okay. Mill yourself. Mill me. I have no idea, my man. Needed a kill spell, needed a bolt. A lot of things we needed here. And let's attack with Goyf, see what they do. Presuming it's just an easy block, right? Yep. Alright, that was kind of rough. It'll push those 2 cards down. That was just kind of a rough couple of cards to fight through there. I personally think it's a close matchup. It's fine. Would love another land, but the sand's fine. Well, I think the average Shadow player versus the average Jund player, I would think that Jund's probably favored. But I think a good Shadow player versus a good average Jund player, the Shadow player is probably... Okay, from the frying pan into the fire. So, Sultai Shadow? So they're going to take our discard spell or Liliana, so I guess I take Traverse here, since it's the only thing that could remotely get a threat. Maybe I'm supposed to take one of the discard spells or the Stubborn Denial. That's one of those hands you just sit there and go, okay, what do I take? Thoughtseize, Stub, Fatal Push. I think Stub's more likely to be problematic. I'm not going to bold here simply because I have a feeling they're taking Assassin's Trophy anyway. And I don't want to aid them in their Death Shadow Life Drain quest. Yep, confirmed Death Shadow. I really don't like letting them use their removal spells, but at the same time, we're going to have to get that card out of there at some point, so... Sultai Shadow. Interesting. Nobody has recently done well with that deck anyway, so it's really kind of hard to narrow down. Alright, so let us grab a basic swamp here. Bolt your face. Could have done that in priority, I guess. They're 4-color shadow? Alright, that makes sense. Wasn't paying attention to the fact that they fetched a hopefully your last card's not another Death Shadow. Black. Trophy. Well, you already knew it wasn't going to be Wafo's list, so yep, not surprised by it being a whatchamacallit. Up against alright, and our opponent scoops. So we're up against NJG. They have their recent finishes. But man, some of these lists are wild. So probably want Plague Engineers, Spell Bomb, maybe Huntmaster and Ashiok. Bolt doesn't tend to kill a lot of things in their deck, so I could see Bolts going. I could see clearly now. I've lost my mind. No. Could see some discard spells going. But they also have stubby Ds too, so it's kind of like... Could just do these three for these three. Because it fixes the mana, especially in a 3-color mana deck. This just bolts out. Could bring in Huntmaster and whatnot, but I don't know. Could bring in like one random Ashiok for something else. The only question is what? Maybe one Scavenging Ooze. But then I'm just trading one Graveyard Hate card for another. Trim a Thoughtseize on the draw. Yeah, sounds fine. They're not going to be able to likely get a creature down until turn 3, unless it's a Tarmogoyf. So. Yep, probably take Liliana here. Scooze isn't terrible. Okay. Probably playing right into a removal spell, but it's one less spell they have to aim at. Plague Engineer. Currently have 2 card types in their graveyard. This is a Dismember. Ouch. Okay. Alright, well, I mean... presume you have a removal spell for this, right? Take Plague Engineer. Okay. Feels like they have a Stubborn Denial in hand. Had a lot of those Goyfs and Bloodbraid into Goyfs lately. Nope, last card was a Fatal Push that they could not trigger Revolt on. Okay. Why would you... That was bad timing on their Mishra's Ball. Well, they should have done it during our upkeep. Okay, they're fetching. Interesting. Alright, well, let's get a little bit of info. Give us outs to kill them next turn with another Blood Braid, potentially. You know what I wanted to draw? I wanted to draw a discard spell here. That's what I wanted to draw. Probably just get rid of the Street Wraith here. So we're just dead, right? Don't think we want anything else in our sideboard. One Ashiok I think is fine. Two I think is just because it really only attacks them on the axis of really only attacks them on the Traverse the Evenwold axis. Leave some discard in just to clear the path for counter spells, potentially. Like I said, though, I'm not a huge fan of leaving in counter spells in large numbers. Or not counter spells, discard spells in large numbers in these type of matchups. I want to thank everyone for hanging out this morning. If you're new to the channel, please consider giving us a follow as we play a lot of Modern, specifically Jund and Burn, and a little bit of Pioneer here and there. I think this month we're going to be focusing on Sultai Delirium. So, basically the Jund deck of the format. Got the play, which was nice. Sounds fine. It's not like fantastic, but it's fine. Double Goy for removal spell and a Blood Braid. Hurting me. Okay. Okay, dismember a Glyph. So I get to play a turn to Mardu Shadow. Sure. That was a pretty good rip. So that's rough. I think we take the Shadow here. Play our own Glyph. So they drew Bauble. See if their limit on mana comes back to bite them. Okay, they're no longer limited on mana. There goes Cologne's Command. So their hand is Push and Decay. We don't have a Goyf. Why would they fetch here? Grab a Blood Crypt, that way we can fetch a Croxa back if we happen to hit it. GG. Alright. Nice to get the win over a Death Shadow variant. One more match in the league this morning. Already making better time than our 4 matches with 5 Killer Neov the other day. That was just like Jund matchup 50 minutes, Bant Snow 40 minutes. Like, okay, well. Okay, we're on the draw in this game. Hand is good, but extremely awkward. Because of the mana situation. Ruh-roh. Alright, so Mana Leak, Coatl. I think given that Field of Ruin, I'm supposed to be moderately aggressive with my mana here. Yeah, I was kind of hoping I wasn't going to be playing another grindy matchup for the last round here. Especially since I'm beginning to develop a bit of a headache for some reason. Three and one. I think they would just let Tarmogoyf resolve, right? I don't know if it's because of MTG or because I haven't had caffeine yet this morning. Tomorrow's payday, so things are a little tight, so I didn't get popped last night. Soda, whatever you wish to call it. It's a lot of astrolabes. Do I cycle the Baron more, or do I play the Baron more? I think I cycle it, hope to hit another land. I think we're jamming one of the Wrens this turn. It's my form of caffeine. I don't particularly like coffee, and I don't drink a ton of tea, so that's kind of my usual form of caffeine. Opponent is burning a ton of time. Yeah, my girlfriend loves coffee, but I am not a fan. Okay. Inquisition's a card. It's possible I was supposed to go like Inquisition Wren next turn. Are you lactose intolerant or just don't like milk? Or just don't like cow milk? Ah, the Show of Strength. So they have Cryptic Command, Supreme Verdict, and stuff. Vegan. I think we've taken about 4 minutes on this turn, and I've only taken 2 game actions. It's one of the things I can agree with Mr. Hoogland on. Not that I'm his biggest fan of a lot of his ideologies, but there's nothing to think about. They're probably double queuing. Like, legit, there's nothing to think about. Like, they can get through their turn in like five seconds, but our turns, no, they gotta take like 4 minutes. Haha, next leveled. Cryptic Command. Bounce your Tarmogoyf. Oh, just the draw card. Presuming Wren's going to resolve now. If we get hit by a Metallic Rebuke, I'm just like... I'm gonna hit our land drop this turn. Next turn we can cycle Baron more. I probably should have just shot the Coatl, huh? Okay. Getting back Cryptic Command. Yay. So they don't have a fourth land? Why would you put Cryptic back on top if you don't have a fourth land? Just utterly bizarre. So there's a lot of cards they could have here. I think I'm just supposed to bring back Kroxa, right? Like, not jam Liliana into a potential... No, because then they can just... Well, if they Verdict for... That leaves them with 2 mana. Am I okay with that, or would I rather... So we know 2 of their 3. I really need this Liliana to resolve. Mana Leak. Of course your last card unknown is Mana Leak. Overplayed, yes, but I think it's correct on this archetype. So now they get to Uro and have Mana Leak up? That's just disgusting. Play Bloodstainmire, trophy this guy. It does in some spots, it matters. Please don't tell me you have a Coatl or a Path to Exile on top of everything else. Not bringing anything else back, so... Leaving the basics in our deck as much as possible. We know two of the three cards in our hand are... No, actually, we know all three, don't we? Am I willing to run out a Scoos to force them to Verdict next turn? I think so. If they leak, I'll pay. Because I'm not doing anything else this turn anyway, other than trying to eat their Uro. Currently, the only two decks I have in paper are Burn and Tron. I don't get to eat their Uro, which is annoying, but... Real Tron. Yep, there's the verdict that we expected. Okay. Maybe I was supposed to run out another Ren there, or tap differently so I could run out another Ren. No. Yeah, I was supposed to tap differently so I could run out another Ren. Because then I could have killed... I could have done both Kroxa and killed Teferi there. Okay. Do you draw another verdict? Am I missing something? They're dead, right? Oh, they get to bring back Uro. Oh yeah, fair enough. So annoying. No, they path the right one. They get to bring back Uro. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I get to attack them with Kroxa. If they don't block, they're dead. Then I get to clear house. They're both 6/6s, so they kill each other. Five, 6. Oh, they path a they path the scavenging ooze. Which I think I missed eating Uro at multiple points during that game, so I think I punted a few times there. Or made some small mistakes, I'll put it that way. Yeah, I made quite a few mistakes. I missed the opportunity to play the Ren and 6 if I tapped my mana correctly the previous turn to ping down the Teferi to avoid them having that extra draw. So I made a lot of little mistakes there that could have easily cost us. Boarding in this matchup's a little rough. don't think I'm going to find it in time. So I get these 3 in here. Maybe like 1 copy of Ashiok. Board out. Couple bolts, couple thought. No, do that, do that. And then try it like that. I think we're keeping this hand. It's not the best without a discard spell, but this is a grindy long match, so. So what card would I rather get main league? Scavenging Ooze or Tarmogoyf? I think Tarmogoyf's a card I'm more willing to get main leagued here. Or they just have a Coatl and it doesn't matter. I'm still alive, War Dog. How you doing? I have a massive headache right now from stuff, but I'm fine. They've got to have Force of Negation here, right? There's no way you tap out the turn that I can play a Liliana of the Veil. What's more interesting here, Liliana or Ashiok? Alright, if you have the Force, you have the Force. That seems extremely loose on their part. This does not seem like the best Bant Snow player I've ever played against. Sure. What do I pitch here? I think I was supposed to Kolaghan's Command here. Bloodbraid's not the best with Teferi in hand right now.
I mean, we know this is getting countered, so turn target creature from graveyard to your hand. There's one card left in hand. So I think we bait with Kolaghan's Command. Maybe, I really don't know. Am I supposed to trophy the Snapcaster, or am I supposed to trophy the Teferi here? Because I really don't care too much about playing at instant speed. Like, Bloodbraid's fine, but it doesn't... The Cascade spell can't cast, so... Opponent with so much value right now. Right, there's Mystic Sanctuary and one unknown right now. Yep. That's what I figured they'd do. Ashiok's reasonable. Teferi, however, is a beating. They pitched a Coatl. They didn't counterspell a... I got the first game because they played very poorly. I don't know. Am I supposed to Ashiok them? Feels like the card in hand might be an Uro. Yep, looks like I was supposed to Ashiok them. They can still win this game. This was a mistake casting this. Okay. No harm, no foul. Alright, now can you win before you deck yourself? We only boarded the one Ashiok in. See the other Ashioks on our sideboard. He was dead. He or she was dead. They couldn't kill me in time. So, I was at 13. Their Uro, at earliest, could be brought back the next turn. So they were at 3 cards in library. They would have gone... the loss was to that Mardu Shadow deck that you were bemoaning about before you went and checked out what Yellow Hat was streaming. Oh no, never mind, War Dog. I'm confusing you and Space Marine. Space Marine went to go check out whatchamacallit during the middle of our 2 Shadow matches. I wonder why. Anywho, 4-1, quite nice. I think this build of Jund is pretty decent. I honestly don't know what I would change right now. I have a little too much of a headache right now to really kind of focus too much on like what I would change, what would be different, etc. Deck felt solid. Deck felt reasonable. We beat the best deck in the format. We beat a couple aggro decks, or we beat an aggro deck in. We beat Dredge. Where did we play round 1? Humans and Dredge. So it was nice to beat Dredge and Snow. Those probably felt like bad matchups. Well, I liked Willie's previous builds. I think the newest build with the Clothis was a little too extreme. So, anywho, this build's solid. I think this is the starting point for where we're going to start tweaking the deck a little bit from now on. Deck's solid. Feel bad for whoever originally did this deck. Did 9-0 in the challenge. This deck is good. Good solid base for Jund. I think. Yeah, not everyone's going to play the best Dreadbore, so. But deck is solid. Still not sure where I come out on the 24th, 25th lands. War Dog, good to see you. I hope work goes well for you, man. Stay safe out there with everything going on. So, this has been John for MTG Nexus, both on here and on the YouTubes. If you like what you're seeing on this channel, please consider giving us a follow. And if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and check out our YouTube page, which has a bunch of Jund, Burn, and some Pioneer content. This has been John for an MTG Nexus. I hope you all have a great day.